Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to be spooked. I want to read some Glitch in the Matrix stories. Let's just get right into it. My boyfriend understood Japanese for a minute. Short, but has been weirding me out since it happened, and I thought maybe it belonged here. A couple of nights ago, my boyfriend and I were sitting in our living room watching One Piece. My boyfriend gets up to grab a snack from the kitchen while we let the episode keep playing. Our kitchen and living room are separated by a thin wall, as the kitchen leads to the living room. So he could still hear the episode, well in case any action picked up. Well, one character said something along the lines of, "Why do you care about this woman anyway? She is a criminal." Mind you, we are watching subs, so this is all in Japanese. I'm reading subtitles, but my boyfriend can't at the moment. But after the character asked the question, my boyfriend from the kitchen yells, "Because she's my friend, dumbass!" I pause the episode immediately and walk into the kitchen and ask how my boyfriend knew what they were saying. He got this look of realization followed by confusion and horror on his face. His exact response was, I don't know. I don't know. He's never spoken another language than English, has never taken any Japanese classes, never even downloaded Duolingo. We are both just creeped out by it. What in the midsummer? Edit to add, I don't believe he watched the episode without me, as we don't care if each other is a couple of episodes ahead. Sometimes he will usually tell me when he does, like, "Hey, I watched these episodes while you were asleep, so I know what happens." But he claims he didn't watch it ahead this time. Okay, but like, even if he did, like, if you don't understand Japanese, how would he know, like, that's what they were saying at the time? Like, I don't know, my memory is not that good. And when I'm reading subtitles, I don't really, like, hear the words as much if they're in a different language, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's weird. That's a glitch. Picture in my daughter's book has changed. My daughter got a book for Christmas. It's this really sweet little book that plays the tune of "Row, row, row your boat," and each page has some artwork on it. The first page has 4 ducks floating down the stream, 3 yellow ducklings, and 1 brown duck. The ducks are all facing the same way. Now this is important. My daughter is 1, so right now she loves counting and repetition. Every time we see the ducks, she points to them and I count them out loud. I've done this at least 100 times already. I'm not even kidding. She loves this book and won't leave it alone. My husband has also read it to her loads, and he saw that she was pointing at the ducks, so he started counting out loud too. I was reading it to her this morning. It's a very short book. Only like 8 pages. And my husband was watching. Everything was normal until my daughter flipped to the first page again with the ducks, and my husband and I at the same time went, "What the fuck?" The duck at the back of the line is facing the other way. I shit you not, I've looked at these ducks so many times over the last few days. I've counted them out God knows how many times, and they were all facing the same way. I would literally bet my life on it. I thought at first I could maybe explain it as overtired parents get it wrong, though I honestly know this book like the back of my hand, so it seems like a massive stretch. But it's also the fact that my husband noticed it at the exact same time as me and was weirded out too. We both looked at each other and back at the duck, and we're both in agreement that it's changed. I've read things on the sub before and have always been like, "Oh, cool, I wish something like this would happen to me." And now that it has, I feel nervous and also a bit crazy. I'm so glad my husband is in the same position as me, though. It confirms that I'm not going mad. Well, at least not by yourself. Edit picture of the book in the comments for anybody who wants to have a look at the creepy ass ducks. Yeah, that duck is definitely, not facing the same way. Spooky. That's like a Mandela effect, isn't it? But like, I don't know. I wonder if anybody else has had that book and is like, "Whoa, I totally saw it that way too." That's just like one of those things too where, like, I don't know, I question myself a lot, but when I feel like I really know something, like I know it, right? Because like I always question myself, so I'm not afraid to say I'm wrong. So if I really like knew that something was one way, it just sucks because like you can't really prove it unless you were like your memories right into someone else. But yeah, we can't do that yet. Next story, mirror glitch. Fun fact, I'm actually afraid of mirrors. And it's so like, Yeah, well, part of it is, oh, I'm afraid of like somebody standing behind me or something when I look in the mirror, or things that just aren't there. Like, I was afraid of my reflection. Like, I thought one day it would be mad at me and it would try to steal me away from my current world and take me into the mirror world and trap me in there. And yeah, I would smile at myself before I went to bed every night to, you know, make sure my image didn't hate me. I have never experienced a glitch in the Matrix before, but I don't know what else to call this strange thing that happened. So I have a digital clock in my bathroom, and it is right next to the mirror. Oftentimes, I look at the clock in the mirror instead of the real clock to see the time because it's easier when I'm standing in front of the mirror. I was standing in the mirror and looking at the clock in the mirror, which said 3:07. I quickly glanced at the real clock that was next to me, and it read 3:08. I had a split-second thought about how weird it was that the clock changed so quickly that it already read 3:08 before I even finished moving my eyes. Because of this thought, I quickly looked back in the mirror, and this is where things got weird. The clock in the mirror still said 3:07, and as soon as I looked at it, it changed to 3:08. I stared in disbelief as I frantically looked back and forth between the mirror and its reflection, now both reading 3:08. Trying to figure out how the real clock said 3:08 while its reflection was still reading 3:07. Oh God, I got a text and I saw the notification go on my phone and I thought there was something behind me. Okay, we're good. What was I saying? Well, trying to figure out how the real clock said 3:08 while its reflection was still reading 3:07. I was desperately trying to make sense of what happened, but I really couldn't. I genuinely have no way to explain this. As I have thought about it further, it feels as though the time was 3:08 the entire time and the mirror was somehow off. I think that's why it read 3:08 the moment I looked at the clock, and I think that's why the clock in the mirror immediately changed from 3:07 to 3:08 as soon as I looked at it. I wonder if my thoughts and expectations somehow influenced the mirror image. I'm not sure. My husband told me to post here. Thanks for reading. Yeah, so at first I was like, okay, yeah, there are times where I glance at a clock and I glance at like my phone or something and it changed because the minute just like happened to change at that moment. But the fact that it was still 3:07 when she looked back at it, that's weird. My brain hurts. Yesterday, my teenage kids and I were driving to meet up with their grandparents across state, and we got there early and I had to pee. I sent off a text but didn't get a reply, so I decided to just go and find a restroom as I still had time before we were supposed to meet. Not far down the road, at the light, we spotted them driving towards us in their green Kia and grandma's hot pink hair. We all waved, and I had my kids send off a text letting them know we'd be right back. They texted back confused, because they were on the east side of town at Subway because they had gotten there early and were hungry, and sure enough, when we got over there a few minutes later, they were finishing up their sandwiches. My oldest and I were creeped out. We made eye contact and waved, or I never would have bothered having him send off a text because we were early. There can't be that many old ladies with bright pink hair in that specific colored car and model. She's very easy to spot, and I'd have doubted myself if my kids hadn't also seen them, and also they waved at us. I keep trying to logic it out, but it's not logicking. Yeah, that's weird. You see, I understand the whole, oh yeah, sometimes people can just look similar, you know, but I don't know, the combination of green Kia, same model, and hot pink hair, and the fact that these people looked like them and waved back, there's no way. That was them. That was them, just not the right versions, I guess. Oh, I wonder if in that reality that they're in, they said, hey, we saw you guys as we were driving, and the family was like, no, you didn't. And they were like, yeah, you waved at us, and we waved back. And then OP and the kids in that reality are like, what are you talking about? And there's another post somewhere else on another Glitch in the Matrix subreddit that's from that side. Does that make sense? I feel like I explained that way more complicated than I had to. I don't know. I like these stories. If you like these stories and you want to hear more from me, go ahead and subscribe and like, and I'll be back soon. Bye!